Hi guys, happy Tuesday. I hope you had a great Monday and I hope today's starting off well for you. We're going to go right back into making connections. I know we talked about the different types of connections you can make, text to text, text to self, text to world, when you're reading a story, and how important that is as a reader to do that. So today we're making connections with informational text. We have not done this yet, sorry. We have only done it through fiction or through poems, but today we're going to do it through the informational text. So these are the things I want you to focus in on this week. I want you to focus in on the people or the animals that are in the text. Describe them. Tell me about what you've learned. Is it about an animal? Is it about a people group? Is it about a specific person? Tell me about that person. Tell me about those animals. And then what connections can you make to them? Anything that you have read, anything that's happened to you, anything that's happened to you that's somebody who's close to you, or anything that's going on in the world. I know there's lots of things going on that we're not focused on as much, but there's lots of pollution, there's homeless issues, there's political issues, and so there's all kinds of things that you can connect your story to, and especially informational text. You can find that text to world connection really heavy in informational text. First one is to do peoples and animals. Second one is to do events. Describe the events, describe the things that happened in the story or in the text, and make sure that you are not giving me too many details because it's not a lot of space, but let me know what's important. Don't just give me the little bitty things. Give me the most important things that have happened in this text. And then what connection did you make to those events? Anything that has happened to you, anything that's happened in the world. Okay, and also you need to give me the central or the main idea. Remember, we talk about the pop-out sentence. You got to find that sentence, and you've got to know that sentence is what that text is mostly about. And so you need to tell me what is the text mostly about, and then what connection can you make to that central idea. What thing that's happened in the world or that you've read about before, that you've experienced, that can help you make a connection to that central or main idea. And then, of course, as with the fictional stories, we're also going to do author's purpose with the informational text. So author's purpose is the reason the author wrote it. Did the author write it to persuade you, to inform you, to entertain you, to explain things? There's lots of different reasons that authors write things. And so we need to pinpoint why you think that author wrote that text and what the purpose was for writing it. So, and then also you need to make your connection. What connection can you make to the reason the author wrote that text? All right, so now I'm going to read to you the short little bitty text that I got for this one because honestly, I need to keep the time down, and if I get too long, then y'all don't want to watch the rest of the videos. So I'm going to read this small little bitty text. It's called Lost and Found. So I'm going to read it real quick. Lost and found. Knowing how to handle fear can help you survive if you're lost in the wild. First, stay calm, but yell for help. This will make you easier for other people to find you. Next, check your supplies. Build a fire if you know how to keep it going safely. A fire will keep you warm and dry and make you easier to locate. Seek out a cave or fallen tree for shelter. If you are stranded for a while, move to the highest point you can find. You may be able to spot rescuers. They will also be able to see you. Okay, so that's my quick little text that I chose to use, and this is the graphic organizer I'm going to use for that. And it looks a lot like the one for fictional text, but if you notice it says making connections with informational text. I put my title of the book or the text, Lost and Found. So I'm going to start with my people, then go to events, central idea, and then author's purpose, just like on the graphic organizer or the anchor chart. So it says people or animals. Describe the people or animals in the text, and what connections can you make? Well, I didn't have any people or animals in my text, but the author tells us how to survive being lost in the wild. So it's about the environment and the person that's lost, right? So the connection I made was I got lost in the mall when I was little, but I was scared, but I found someone to help me find my mom. So that made me think, the story made me think of that time when I got lost. The events were actually a step-by-step guide on how to survive, but the connection I made to this text was I really like to have a plan when we go on vacation, and I always plan out our events step by step. So I like to have a guide to guide me on how to do my vacation, and it's not just it was time well spent, is what I'm thinking when I'm on vacation. Okay, and then the central or main idea, tell me what the text is mostly about and what connections you can make. So the text, I said, is mostly about how to survive if you get lost in the wild. And then I said, I remember a TV show called Lost. They all had to learn how to survive in the wild. So that story, the airplane crashed and they were stranded on this island and they had to figure out how to survive in the wild. And so this text, Lost and Found, reminded me about that TV show, I should say. Sorry. And then my last part of the graphic organizer is author's purpose. Tell me about why the author wrote the story. How do you know? Provide evidence from the text. So I said that it was to inform us on how to survive in the wild. And I know that that's what it is because it gave me a bunch of ways to survive in the wild. It says to stay calm. It tells you how to build a fire. And it tells us to go to a high point. So those are all the different reasons the author wrote this. Those are all the different text evidence that that proves that the author wrote it to inform us on how to survive getting lost in the wild. Okay, so you are going to take this graphic organizer. You're going to read your text, take this graphic organizer, and organize your thoughts. You can either then just submit this to me in Canvas or share it with me in Google, and or you can take the second option, use this graphic organizer to help focus your thoughts on the text, and then you can complete your assignment in the second option. Every group has a different option. So in the second option for your group, you can choose to answer your or do your assignment in that second option. So this is your first option. Complete this, submit it to me like you've been doing, or take your second option and complete it that way. Just use this as a guide. Okay, so remember today you are going to be making connections with informational text. You're going to look at the people or the animals in the text. You're going to look at the events, the central or main idea, and then the author's purpose. Make sure you're focusing your thoughts and make sure that you have read the text so that way you can. All right, guys, I hope that you are having a great day, and I hope that you are staying happy and healthy and warm. Take care.